Welcome back to another episode of Around Campus with your host, Jamila Mustafa. We're so lucky to be joined today by none other than Yesenia Tavares, producer and director for WI-10 22. Thank you so much, Yesenia.
Thank you for having me.
You are a legend in the Wilmington, Delaware community. First of all, we are here at Delaware State University, but you are an alum of our rival school, Morgan State University. How was it attending an HBCU for your undergrad?
It was the best experience for me. I would never have chosen it a different way. Graduating from Wilmington High School in Delaware and Newcastle, everyone was saying, oh, why don't you go to Yale or pick another school that, you probably will get further in life in this career. And I said to myself, no, I wanted to have that HBCU experience, seeing other minorities excelling, people like you and me of color, and just being around that type of vibe and that atmosphere. And it's taught me everything I needed to know.
Now you mentioned excelling and them saying go to Yale or go to Princeton or Tennessee State, but within your career, we talk about ESPN, Black Enterprise, Channel 6, ABC. How did you land those jobs being a Morgan State grad?
Well, definitely at Morgan State University, and prior to, I've always noticed that in order to go far in life, you have to always be prepared.
Wow.
Sometimes the right opportunity will not present itself when you want it to. So when it does present itself, you have to be ready and prepared. So what I did at Morgan State University, fresh out of high school, I knew I wanted to be on television. I knew I wanted to have my own TV show, and so I came with the resume reel right out of high school.
Wow!
And I said, listen, this is what I want to do. This is the platform I want to use. And at the time, the university just started having their student television station.
Yes.
So long story short, I gave them my resume reel, went through an interview process, and landed my own TV talk show my freshman year on campus. Wow. So school started, and within that month, I had my own show. And after that, what I basically did, once we started having these career fairs like you do at Delaware State University, I always made sure I had a portfolio. I made sure I had my folder. Inside my folder, I had my resume, and I had all my samples that I can think of. Any writing that I did for the university's newspaper, any video that I could put together on my demo reel to show my editing skills as well as my on-camera skills. I had that all packaged in a little portfolio. And that's what I would hand out to these recruiters. One thing I would say with Black Enterprise magazine, when they came to our university, of course, everyone's, Black Enterprise magazine, there's 100 people that want to work there. So they had this long line, and I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to stand out from all these people standing in line, from my competitors.
Yes.
So I had to sit and think, how am I going to stand myself to be that person that they'll remember? So what I did was I walked around and I talked to the other employers, and I waited until the line actually came down to about 2 people. Then I came back around, and when I saw there was only about 1 person left, I waited till that person was done, gave it a few seconds, had myself together, and I came and I presented myself, who I was. I gave my elevator speech about what I do at the university, what I would like to do for the company. And next thing I know, I got a call while I was out in a convention in Hollywood, and they said, come on down, and we want you to get an interview. And I said, listen, I'm at a Broadcasting Society convention in Hollywood. I can't come to New York right now to do the interview. So they said, don't worry about it. We'll do a phone interview. So I did the phone interview, and right there on the spot, I had to be ready. So that's one thing I would always say is being prepared, especially at HBCU. That's what, nothing's given to you.
Yeah.
You really have to work hard at HBCUs. I like to say there's not a red carpet laid out for you here.
It's not. And so I want to talk about something that's really pivotal within the mass communications. When there is no opportunity, when the door is not cracked, when you don't have a mentor, how do you get a yes when the answer has already been told to you no?
You kind of have to find a way to pave your way. What I had to do, for example, I had all these jobs, right? ESPN, Black Enterprise, ABC. So you would think right away, oh, she'll land a top-notch job as soon as she graduated from college. Well, problem was, my mother had fell sick. She'd gotten really, really sick, and she was hospitalized for like almost a month. And I had to make the decision, do I take this job with CBS that just called me in Green Bay? Or do I choose to stay in Delaware to take care of my mom? In life, these opportunities will present itself, but then you have to make the call. So knowing I'm a firm believer in God, and I know things happen for a reason, so I wanted to say to myself, if I'm this good that CBS is calling me, I know that another opportunity will present itself. So at the time, I stayed in Delaware, and what I did was, I actually had to pave my way. I didn't get a job right away. I stayed home taking care of my mom, and for 6 months after graduating, I was without a job. So, like you said, I was sitting at home. I need to pay my bills. I just graduated from college. I have these students' loans. Like, how can I create this opportunity? I started researching. And I started meeting with local key players in the community, started attending town hall meetings, anything and everything you can think of. If there's a library that's local that you think that there's going to be like an event taking place there, show up. Like, you just have to show up at these places. And once you show up and you introduce yourself to the executives, to the CEOs, that's who you want to get in line with, not the people who have like regular positions. You want to line yourself up with the person who's making the decision if you're going to get hired or not. And that's what I did. I put my face, I put myself in front of these people who would eventually hire me as an employee, and that's what happened. My first job out of college was at Police Athletic League of Delaware. They created a position for me. I became their public relations director, and they never had one, but what I did was I presented them what I could do for them.
Yes.
The branding, the marketing that I can bring to their company, as well as teaching the kids. They had kids ages 8 to 18 that wanted to learn television. And that's what I did. I paved my way and just made it happen.
So now you are at WITN Channel 22. Tell us a bit about the station and what exactly do you do for them as a producer and a director?
WITN 22 stands for Wilmington Information Television Network, and it's located in the city of Wilmington, Delaware. Each state in the United States of America has what you call PEG channels. That's Public Education Government. We fulfill the government entity, and we're operated right under City Council. So City Council President Theo Gregory and all the council members that are on board.
Thursdays?
Yes, Thursdays we have City Council meetings and we have committee meetings throughout the month. We televise all of those. So we make sure that we get that information out to the community, but we also do a lot of in-house productions. And where I actually am involved, when I came to the station right away, I started as a producer of their news channel, their news show. And then I shortly came on up and became the anchor of their news show. And then after having that position for a while, I ended up being their news reporter, the news anchor for just Spanish-speaking news.
Wow.
So I created that title for myself. And then after that, I said, you know what? You know, this Hispanic community is really growing in the city of Wilmington. We need to reach out to this niche market.
Yes.
At the time, ABC had just signed a contract with Univision. MTV came out with MTV 3. So there was a lot of bilingual television programming going on. And so that's what I did for WITN 22. I started creating bilingual television shows for them. I host currently my own television talk show that's in both English and Spanish called La Conexión, The Connection, for the station.
So, Mr. Tavares, you're now approaching graduation. You're 22 years old. You're getting ready to walk across that stage, and you're ambitious to see what life holds for you. What would you tell yourself?
You have to make sure that you continue the networking part of this business.
How important is networking?
It's very important. And not only networking, but following up. There's so many times where you'll meet someone, oh, I just met Jamila at this big convention, and you know, there's possibly an opportunity for me to work with her. And you go off of this vibe, but then 3 weeks go by, 4 weeks go by, 5 weeks go by, you don't hear back from that person. You have to be persistent. And sometimes you have to be creative. Right away, there might not be jobs at the station or wherever you're trying to look for. For magazines, sports, there might not be opportunities available. But you have to continue to think about building relationships. In this business, it's truly every 1 to 6 people know each other. It's like that 6 degrees that they say. It's really true. You have to start to network and get to know people and build a relationship. Everything is based off of the relationship you build with people. So therefore, if there is an opportunity that presents itself at WITN 22 and I've worked with you, or I know what you've been doing because I've been talking with you for the last year, and it doesn't have to be every day, it could be every once in a while. When the opportunity presents itself at my company, I can say, listen, I have this person that just graduated from Delaware State University. I think she would be great for this position. Now I can put your resume on top of the pile of hundreds of people that have been applying. That's so critical. Another way you can connect is on LinkedIn.
Yes.
I mean, social media is big now. Unfortunately, when I came out of college in 2006, it wasn't as big as it is now, but you have to think about online. You can reach a broader audience online. So start networking with people on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is huge. I've myself landed a lot of jobs on LinkedIn.
Me too.
But you have to really think about being creative. You can't think about, you know, it's going to come to you. A job will not come to you. Look at all the places I've worked. I told you 6 months right after graduation, I didn't have a job. You have to go look for it. And unfortunately, right now in a lot of industries, they have what is called like frozen jobs. So not a lot of companies are hiring.
Yeah.
And if they are hiring, it's only for one position, like producer, director, or news producer. So now you have all these people graduating from all these universities with a mass communications degree who are applying for that one position because that's the only position that's open. Well, how are you going to put your resume in front of everyone else's? You have to be able to network. There's a lot of local chapters. I know there's a chapter in Philadelphia that I'm affiliated with that deals with a lot of accountants and things like that. I'm not even an accountant, but what I saw was it was tailored towards Latinos. Well, I'm a Latino, Latina, so that I fit in that niche market. So what I did was I started socializing myself with these people, because there's so many different entities to our degree. We think, oh, right away I want to be in TV, I'm going to get a TV job. No, maybe you might want to go into the promotion sales department first, just to get your foot in the door. So see if you can sign up for a sales positions job with the radio station or the TV station, and from there see, okay, well, once you get that position, now you work your way up. But you have to find a way. Like they say, sometimes you can't go through the front door, you got to go through the back.
Well, I mean, you are just now giving me, I feel like I should be, she's sitting here taking notes, so hopefully all the Hornets and our viewers are definitely taking notes. So are there opportunities right now at WITN for internships or to shadow, or if they want to get involved or just even tune in? When can we catch you live, or where do they go to apply?
Well, at W1822, my show, La Conexión, That Connection, airs every day at 11 a.m. Every day. That's my time. And if you're like, oh, well, you know, I'm in class or something like that, if you go to WITN22.org, there's a schedule on there, a program schedule, and it shows you the air times for all of the shows at WITN22. And then also, there are opportunities that present themselves sometimes. Like right now, I don't think the station is currently looking for any internships or freelancers, but you still want to call the station manager, call the production supervisor, so we can have your resume on file. And then, like I said, build that relationship. Contact me. Let's start talking. If we don't have a position available there, I can see if there's other people in my network who work at other companies in New York or Baltimore or DC that might be offering opportunities, and then I can go ahead and bring your resume up forward. But if I don't know who you are, I can't vouch for you.
Yes.
So that's a huge thing. But W1822.org is our website, and my office phone number is 576-2119. And if you want, you can give me a call or send me an email. My email address is YT as in Tony, AV as in Victor, ERAS at wilmingtonde.gov. And I'll do my best to get your paperwork, get your resume, your website in front of the people who make the decisions.
Wow, I just want to tell you, it means a lot because especially within the HBCU community, any community, connections are strong. So when you have alums, whether you're from Morgan, Spelman, Howard, Del State, it means a lot to the students. When you come back, you give back, and you do it with your heart. So there we go, Hornets. Thank you so much, Ms. Yesenia Tavares, for coming on and speaking. And as she said, make sure that you network. She gave you guys her information. Now let's see what you do with it.